Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Welcome to this edition of Pre-Market PulseScan with yours truly, Dex, the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. There is so much to talk about this morning. Man, this video could go for 5 hours, man. I don't know how long it's going to go. There's just so much to talk about. I don't even know where to begin. So why don't we do this? Why don't we just jump right into the market so I can just show you what's happening, all right? And then we're going to talk. Okay. First things first. Dow futures, NASDAQ futures, S&P 500 futures, Russell futures, all lock limit down. Lock limit down. Circuit breakers have been on for hours. No trading. You might as well say the market's closed. The Dow futures are down 1,255 points. NASDAQ 100 is down 410 points. E-mini S&P 500 is down 145 points. Russell futures down 68.5 points. Bitcoin futures were down 1,300 points. Now it's down 1,265 points. We hit a low on the overnight of 77 even, 7,700 in the Bitcoin futures composite. Last trade is now at 7,900 even. Nat gas is off 2 cents at $1.68. Crude oil was down 12 or 13 bucks, which is 1,200 to 1,300 points. Crude oil currently now is down $9.35. The overnight low was $27.32, and the current price is at $31.90. But that is not the story. The biggest story in the overnight market is the bond futures, the long bond, the 30-year bond futures. Never before have we seen this. This is the biggest point move in history. Bond futures went limit up. Are you listening? Limit up. Okay. 12 full points. Bond futures went 12 points. All right. 12 points. Let that sink in for a minute. All right. That's like 12,000 Dow points. So according to Dow futures, not only did we hit zero interest rates, but right now we have priced in negative interest rates. According to the bond futures, we're at negative interest rates. The overnight high was 191 and 22 30-seconds. Bond futures are looking at going to 200 right now, which is just something that I can't even wrap my brain around. Gold futures rallied up to $1,704.30 an ounce before collapsing all the way down to 1,658. Now we've bounced from there to 1,680, up 8 points or $8. Silver is down 45 cents at $16.81 after rallying to $17.61, then collapsing to $16.55. So basically a full dollar trading range in silver from top to bottom. The US dollar index basically went parabolic, down well over another full point or 1,000 points, 1,000 ticks. We're now at the $94 handle at $94.94. Overnight low, $94.72. Overnight high, $95.78. But wait, there's more. The euro yen I once again, I have not seen movements like this. Euro yen down like 1,000 pips, man. I don't know what to say, dude. This is just absolutely incredible. Incredible. All right, so now we're down 180 at 117.22. The euro is now up 139 pips. The pound sterling is up 89 pips, and the Aussie is down 30 pips. We're trading at 114.60 on the euro, 131.09 on the pound sterling, and 66.11 on the Aussie. But wait, there's more. Looking at food, looking at commodities, beans are down now 18 points at 873 and 3/4. Remember, we were over 9 last week. Corn down 6.5 points at 369 half. There are some crude oil stocks that are down almost 40% in pre-market. I repeat, 40% in pre-market. Imagine you're long a stock and you wake up the next day and it's down 40%. All right? This is absolute ridiculousness on so many levels. Absolute carnage. Let me just say this, guys. For those of you that are listening that have not watched my documentary, There Is No Collapse, I think right now is the perfect time to go and do that. You need to watch that so that you can know exactly what's happening and understand it to the fullest. I don't have time to rehash that entire documentary right now. So let's just suffice it to say what you are witnessing right now is a coordinated effort, what I call economic terrorism. We're experiencing economic terrorism. Like I said, I don't think that you will be shocked to learn that when all the dust has settled, you will hear certain parties behind this. Like I said, everything that is happening is not a coincidence. There's no such thing as coincidence. All right? No coincidence. Things happen for a reason, especially the timing of said things. This all started with the China-US trade war. And now you got carnage all over the world. There's panic now over a virus that has a 2 to 3% mortality rate? Really? Really? People are panicking over the flu? That's absolutely ridiculous. But we cannot deny what is happening. All right, so like I told you, there's so much to talk about. So let's just go back to Friday. Does anyone remember what I told you in the pre-market PulseScan video? What did I tell you guys? What did I say in that video? What did I say? Huh? Sing the song like I told you to, anime. What did I tell you? I told you that Friday was going to be, in hindsight, the most important market close in history. Why did I tell you that? I said because if these markets, and I gave you several different ones, I said if you don't see a certain close, meaning they had to close above their intraday price inflection points, and I gave you those points. I said, if this does not happen, the door will be open. What did I tell you? What did I say? I said to the most extreme downward moves you've ever seen. I said you haven't seen no down markets yet. Remember I said that? I said you have not seen the downside yet. That's exactly what I told you. And I kept stressing it to you. All right? I warned you. All right? Now you're looking at a situation where virtually the stock index futures markets have closed. The question is going to be, is the market going to close today? Will they have to close the New York Stock Exchange today? Will they have to close all the markets? Will the Fed come in this morning and do another rate cut of maybe a full basis point and take rates directly to zero? Will the plunge protection team come in, i.e. the Federal Reserve? Will they turn on their laptop, log into their trading account, and start buying up the equity market? What is going to happen on this historical day? All right, let me help you out. Let me give you a little roadmap on what you need to see happening. What you need to look for today is a pointer. If today ends up being a spike and we rally up into the close today, then you know what that is. I don't even need to run a system update for you. You can tell me what that means. What happens when you see a pointer? The market is going to exceed that point. It's like a gap. It's going to have to be filled. Now we're gapping down hard, which means this gap that we've just created from Monday to Friday is going to have to be reckoned with at some point. So we know that regardless of how low we go, we're coming right back. All right, so here, these are the facts. Remember, I shared with you there's a difference between truth and facts. Sometimes the truth is not necessary, or sometimes the facts are not necessarily the truth. All right, so this is right now going to be historically, it's already historically right now as we speak, the blackest Monday of all Black Mondays. So far, this overnight panic supersedes any other crash, sell-off panic in history as far as a one-day panic move across the board. The last time the only thing I have to compare this to is not even available for you to view on a chart. You had to have been there to seen it. Is 9/11. Today is the economic 9/11. This is the only thing I have to compare this to. This blows by 2008. It blows by the May 6, 2010 flash crash. This is more extreme than 1987. This is more extreme than any other market I've ever participated in or seen or heard of or studied. This blows away 1929, any stock market situation you can think of. This right now is the worst day in history. And the opening bell hasn't even rung yet. Never before have we had every asset class crash together. Now, we've had down days when everything is down together, but not crash together. You can use the word crash. It's okay to say crash. All right, these markets are crashing. The price is crashing. There are no bids in the market. Okay, you've never seen a move like this with the bonds move the way they do, and gold and silver crash, and the dollar crash, and commodities crash. Everything's crashing together. The dollar, the crude oil, your precious metals, your Bitcoin, your equities. No, the only thing that is rallying is bonds. That's it. We have not seen this happen before ever. Now, as far as how long it takes markets to fill gaps, there is no rule set in stone. Gaps are filled when they're filled, but they are always filled. Pointers are always filled. Now, in the wisdom of the immortal, the most intelligent, brilliant mind that ever walked the face of the earth. Give it up for my boy, Fire Marshal Bill. Let me show you something. That's what he always say. Let me show you something. So I'm going to show you something. And this, again, folks, you can't make this stuff up. Things happen the way they happen. And there's not a thing you can do about it. Nothing. There's nothing you can do about it. So I'm just going to show you something about pointers real quick, because some people I know how it is. You don't believe me. All right. You think I'm just making stuff up. So I'm going to have to show you why I am called the Vulcan. I'm going to show you why I am the Vulcan. All right. Why I am the algo capitalist. Okay. Do you see right here? You see this bar? This bar is dated October the 3rd of 2019. This is a chart of the Dow futures. All right. This is a pointer. This is a bearish pointer. This bearish pointer came on a day where the system gave you a primary rally alert off of this pointer. Bearish pointer. What did I say, class, about bearish pointers? They're like gaps. The market's coming back to it. This is a pointer. So is this. Let's go back just a little bit further. All right, just a little bit further. This is another bearish pointer. This one is earlier and precedes the one in October. This is August the 6th of 2019. It should be noted that the low point of this bearish pointer is 25,032. Let's move back. The low of this one is 25,703. Here is where we are. Currently, we are now at 24,534. We have taken out both of the pointers I just showed you. This is your, look, here's your brain. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions? All right. Have I not proven to you the power of the pointer yet? Do you get it? Is it sinking in? That's what we have done, folks. We have filled the quote unquote gap. Pointers are algo gaps. All right. They're not real technical gaps in the market. They're called algo gaps. Price always comes back to them just like a moving average. At some point, prices like to come back and find that equilibrium. That's what's happening today. All right. We are looking nasty, folks. I tried to warn people. That's all I can do is warn people. You can lead the camel to the water, but you can't make them drink. How long have I been on YouTube now telling people about the power of the pulse waves? And people don't like to listen. They don't like to listen. They don't take it seriously. I told you, I warned you that this was coming. So now, what do you do where there's no safe haven? You can't go anywhere. Well, that is the good question, isn't it? So you got your crypto getting smashed. You got your gold and silver getting smashed. What is happening is the markets are not playing by the rules because they're being heavily manipulated and controlled. When markets are manipulated and controlled, you have to learn how to ride the algorithms. I've been saying it for years. This is not your granddaddy's market. These are new markets controlled by algos. And if you don't have a better algo, you can't surf these waters. That's why I created the PulseWave price trigger system so that you could know what the machines are thinking before they act on what they're thinking. All right. Now, this is another reason why I tell you, you don't want to be long going into a weekend. Why would you do that? I said, do not be long going into the weekend. Don't be long. Don't be long. Because what did I tell you? I said because things always love to jump off on the weekend. Do you know how much news is out there this morning? I can't even cover it all. It's so much news. I don't even know where to begin. Let me just give you some of the highlights. Somebody uploaded a video showing where someone with the coronavirus somewhere was being hauled off by a bio decontamination unit dressed in hazmat suits. Let's see what else we got here. I'm just going to give you some highlights. Punched in the face. Oil stocks, bond yields, and Bitcoin plunge after crude producers signal a brutal price war. Russia punched investors in the face as it refused to follow OPEC with further production curbs to match the slump in oil demand caused by the coronavirus breakout. A global recession is inevitable. No, I say depression is inevitable. Analysts warn of utter carnage as oil crashes and global stocks tumble. This will be remembered as Black Monday. No, this will be remembered as the blackest of Mondays. The entire U.S. yield curve plunged below 1% for the first time ever. Here's why that's a big red flag for investors. It signals the market is worried about a global recession and aggressive monetary easing by the Fed. Notice how they didn't say caused by the coronavirus. It just said, this is what it is. I told you, the coronavirus is just used as a scapegoat. Oil is down 21% after its biggest drop in decades, following Saudi price cuts that sparked a race to the bottom with Russia. Saudi Arabia plans to offer deep discounts on crude after Russia refused to join in and other producers in cutting output in response to coronavirus. Goldman Sachs cuts Brent forecast to $30. The bank slashes second and third quarter forecast for oil price benchmark, citing coronavirus and the brewing price war between Russia and Saudi Arabia. I have to tell you, folks, peep this first. Stocks have tanked. European equities dropped with Germany's DAX down 7.4%, Britain's FTSE 100 down 7%, and the Euro Stoxx 50 down 7.7%. Asian indexes slumped, with China's Shanghai Composite down 3%, Hong Kong's Hang Seng down 4.2%, and Japan's Nikkei down 5.4%. U.S. stocks are set to open lower, with futures underlying the Dow Jones Industrial Average, S&P 500, NASDAQ down 4.8 to 4.9%. No, actually, it's down more than 5%. They had to put the circuit breakers on. There's a raft of earnings out. Casey's General Stores and Abcam are reporting. It's a quiet day for data. 2-year Treasury bill auctions are the highlights. And now we got the opening bell. Oh, snap! The Dow futures are now down 1,772 points. NASDAQ down 580, S&P down 204. They've put the circuit breakers back off. Oh my goodness, Bitcoin down 1,340 points. What in the world is happening? Bond futures up 7 points. Oh my goodness. Get ready, folks. This is going to be historic. There's, like I said, there's so much more news. I probably have to do a separate, just a news podcast or something, just breaking down all the different specificities, because there's so much happening. I can't even begin or find a place to put it all into a basket for you. It is crazy town where we are right now. The Dow cash down 1,800 points. This is a historic moment, folks. Absolute ridiculousness. Stocks opening down 6% on the open. Down 6% on the open. Now I'm going to come back to this. Let's talk about this oil. On Friday, I warned everybody. I said, There have been historical moves in oil. I said it's the most gangster market in the world. And I remember when it had 10-point moves in a day. All right. I said that. All right. What do we have? Oil doing exactly what I told you it was capable of doing. And because Obama changed everything when he was in office, all these different changes have taken place. So now you have situations going on. And it's really interesting because we're already technically at certain thresholds, and yet they still got the market open. I would think that they will be closing this market right about now, down 6%. This is crazy. All right, now back to the oil. All right, so back to this oil. All right. The other thing you need to know about oil right now is that even though this is like super bad and it's the worst price destruction I have like ever seen per se, it's not in the historical scheme of things as bad as it could be. All right, let me explain what I mean by that. Okay, so with your oil, people tend to have very short memories. They don't really remember certain things. So allow me to help those that don't know. Okay. So, oh wow, Brazil stocks plunged 10%, trigger circuit breaker. Yeah, they're about to turn the circuit breakers on, folks, because it's about to get nasty up in this piece. All right. So they're talking about crude oil going to $20 and all this stuff. See, for you young folks, this sounds like just, oh my goodness, crude, oh my God, crude oil, $20. Man, that ain't nothing. Throughout the entire 90s, do you know what the trading range was for crude oil? $15 on the low end, $30 on the top end. Crude oil traded in a range for an entire decade of the 90s, oscillating between $15 a barrel and $30 a barrel. I kid you not. You had a $15 trading range in oil that lasted a decade. So let that sink in just for a second. A decade. All right. So crude oil technically can go back down to $15. Yeah. It was there historically for a long time. So $15 crude oil is not a problem. You know, those oil wells will still pump oil out. Doesn't matter. I'll tell you how you know this is a conspiracy of financial Armageddon and economic 9/11. Are you ready? Oh my goodness, the Dow is now about to be down 2,000 points. It is now down 1,912 points. Oh, oh, here it is, down 2,000. It is now down 2,112 points. The market is down 2,100. Oh, we're about to hit 2,237 points. This is ridiculous. When are they going to close the market? What are you doing? Close the freaking market. How are you letting this happen? Good grief. Stop. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn Globex off. Turn it off. Turn it off. What are they doing? What are they doing? Who is running? Are they asleep? Wake that dude up. Wake that. What is it? Look at my chart, man. Look at this chart, man. Look at this, man. Look at this. Look at this. What is going on? Stop. Stop it. This is absolutely absurd, folks. Come on, man. Really? Bitcoin down almost 1,400 points. Come on, man. Why are you letting this happen? You're fired. All of you are fired. The Fed is fired. The U.S. Department of Treasury, you're fired. Everyone's fired. Whoever the financial ministers, you're fired. All of you. Pack up your cubicle and the sheriff will escort you to the parking lot. Pack up your stuff and bounce. This is absolutely dumb. Okay, let me be serious for a second. All right, this is how you know that this is economic 9/11, a conspiracy done on purpose. You ready? Technically speaking, there has been a direct correlation between bond futures and crude oil futures and the natural market. Let me explain. Okay, when you would, let's say, be trying to refinance on your house or buy a house, you could let your rate float. When bond futures prices were rallying, you could let you can say, I'm not locking in my rate, I'm gonna let it float, because I could actually calculate it down to the actual number. If it was a quarter point, they would shave off, or a half a point, whatever. Same thing with crude oil. If crude oil was like down significantly, you knew, wait 30 minutes and then run to the gas station and you would see the big slashes in prices. According to the crude oil price right now, as it sets right now, we should be paying anywhere from $1.50 to 99 cents a gallon today. If gas prices at your local gas station is not reflecting $1.50 or less at the pump today, by the close of business today, guess what? You ready for this? It's done on purpose, and it's a conspiracy. There's no way in four worlds that this cannot go directly to the consumer in real time. That's what they do. It's how it's always been done. If the gas price is down like this, bam, your pump is also going to reflect that. They have to. That's how they roll. Same thing with your mortgages. If you had a floating rate, or you was about to refinance or buy a house, do it like right now. Close today. Go to closing right now. Close right now. If you have a floating rate, close right now. Now, I want to close now. Call your title firm. Say, I want to close right now, and get this 0% interest rate right now. Straight up. You refinance your house today, right now. If you got equity and you need the money, right now. If you need to fill up your car, wait 30 minutes, go to the gas station. If that price is at 150 to 99 cents again, hurry up, be the first person in line, because they're going to run out of gas by noon today. All right? I'm just saying. All right? Now, here we go. I need to tell you guys something else. They just closed the market. It's about time. Why'd you let it get this far? S&P halted after a 7% plunge. You let the market go 7%. All right, let me explain what this means, folks. What you are looking at is history in the making. The market has never, ever done this in the history of markets. There's never been a daily plunge like this, ever, 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 never, ever, ever, never, ever. So now I'm going to tell you what's about to happen. All right. If you are long in the market right now, you cannot get out. All right, did y'all see this? This is a message popped up on my trading terminal. Based on the market regulations, the following circuit breaker rules will apply for today if met. Based on XPX prices, level 1, 7% decline, 15 minutes trading halt. Level 2, 13% decline, 15-minute trading halt. Level 3, 20% decline, trading suspended for the day. So they changed the rules, folks. It didn't used to be like this. All right? It used to be whatever they deemed it, and they would never let it get like this. Say it with me again, folks. They would never let it get like this. Never. They would have closed the market already. Dude at the New York Stock Exchange would have rang the bell and said, stop all trading, cease all trading. All right? Okay. I'm just saying, folks. Now, for those of you who are PulseWave members, this is your lucky day. Say it with me. I'm about to show you how to pimp these markets like you ain't never seen pimp before, but I will not be doing it live on YouTube. Oh no. We're going to do this in the trading room. I'm going to show you. We're going to do live stuff. I'm going to show you how to pimp this because I'm going to tell you what they're about to do to these markets. They're about to, after they're done, they're going to let it get to wherever the low point is going to be. They're going to chop everyone's head completely off. This right here is just hurting people who have been long stocks. It's killing them. But now the market is about to punish the shorts. See, the way the market works is it lets the shorts come in and provide that liquidity, right, that they need to push prices to where they want it to go. And then without warning, they do something to slice your head completely off of your body. They sever the head at the neck and the shoulders, and it goes rolling down the street. They're going to do something to punch your face off. And I'm telling you, you're about to witness one of the greatest economic times that I can't even explain it. I just want to prepare you guys. You have not seen the lows yet, but you have also not seen the highs. When this market comes roaring back, I would pity anyone who was not invested in some way, shape, or form. If you don't get long the market, you will be an idiot. The bounce back is going to be so catastrophic to anyone who is short. There's going to be bankruptcies all over the place. People are going to be going deficit. There's going to be a margin call. People are already on margin call. Everyone right now is calling for all types of economic calamity, right? I'm saying hogwash. I'm about to show you how this is the biggest blessing you've probably ever seen in your life from a financial perspective. Because when the markets are ceased and closed, this is what happens. Cooler heads prevail, and the markets come roaring back. Now, let me remind you. May 6, 2010, flash crash, Dow falls 1,000 points. What happened? Show of hands. Anyone raise your hand, class. What happened? The market came rip roaring back. Let's go back further. March 2009. What happened? The S&P 500 hit 666 and turned on a dime like a UFO, traveling at 40,000 feet, doing a 90-degree angle pivot. Let's go back further. What happened 1 week after they reopened the markets after 9/11? What happened? S&P 500 went down to about 930 and change, 930 something and change, and rocketed back and rallied like 80 points in 2 seconds off of that low. All right? I'm just saying. Yeah, I like that. UFO. I like that. Let's put that up there. UFO. Unidentified financial object. Absolutely. I like that. That's exactly what it is. All right. So I'm going to show y'all how to do this. This is going to be a lot of fun, but the market's going to move so fast that you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it if you ain't careful. You're going to miss it, miss it, miss it, miss it. So I'm going to hook you up. I'm going to show you how to do it. The time will come. It hasn't happened yet. Anyone who is short, though, as soon as they reopen the market, you need to get the heck out of Dodge, or at least move your stop tight. Because what's going to happen is you want to take as much profit off the table before they punch people in the face. Because the face punch is coming. So, what have we learned here so far, folks? Looking at my screen, I know you can see my screen, right? This right here is the weekly chart of the Dow futures. This right here is the daily chart, 4-hour chart, and 1-hour chart. So here on the weekly chart, we have price destruction, right? We've gone from a bull market officially to a bear market officially. All right, we are here. Okay, we are here. All right. We're going toward this pointer back here that I showed you, right? This pointer back here, this is where we're headed. This pointer, the low point is 21,452. So we have not yet seen the selling done. It's not done. It's not done. We got about another 1,000 plus points to go. Now, the question is going to be how much of a percentage gap fill are we going to get on the move? We don't know how much more it's going to accelerate beyond that. I'm anticipating it's going to accelerate beyond this, and we could go Dow sub 20,000. But boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm here to tell you when this thing comes back. See, people think, oh, it's the end of America, it's the end of the world. Oh, we're going to war, and the nukes are going to start falling out of the sky. Ah! No, quite the opposite. This is a gift for those that are inclined and know what time it is. Why do you think they closed the door on all your safe havens? Did you... Shameless plug. Please go back and please watch There Is No Collapse documentary, please. All right, it'll change your life. All right, but please go back and watch that. I warned people back in 2016 that this was going to happen. I told you they're going to shut the door to all your safe havens. Did I not say that? Did I not say that? So I said, they're going to shut the door on gold and silver and your Bitcoin. You're not going to go anywhere. They're not going to let it rally when the stock market falls. Traditionally, gold would be at $2,000 an ounce right now, and Bitcoin would be already surpassed 22,000. But it ain't. It ain't. And the reason why it ain't is because they won't let it. Okay? They won't let it. They're not going to allow that to happen. They're not going to allow you any kind of safety. No safety net. Safety net not allowed. I tried to tell y'all that. They don't give a darn about you. Michael Jackson said it best. They don't care about us. All right? They don't. They just care about the money. To quote that what's that little Dutch girl? All you talk about is the money. Yeah, that's all they want. All they want is the money. All right? So get ready for things to change because they're about to change. And I'm about to hook you up so you'll know exactly where we're going from here. Okay? All right. So here we are. This is getting interesting. The markets have collapsed on you. And now you're wondering, what in the world are we going to do? What in the world are we going to do? So I'm trying to keep pace of all the stuff happening. Also, I'm looking at some news while I'm doing this. I'm trying to find out everything that's happening to keep a fresh perspective for you. And it's pretty hard to do. Let me get a drink of water. Hold on one second. Markets have reopened. And now the Dow futures is down 2,221 points. They halt the market because that means there's more selling. Now, so anything you're going to hear today, they're going to say, oh my goodness, this is so, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. As far as the oil is concerned, it's not all of that. I've already told you how that is. I've already showed it to you. You know what time it is. So don't be moved by the oil story. However, on the stock index futures and all the other global markets, that's a different story. Oh, I warned you. I told you. Oh, what a punch in the face. Oh, wait, hold on. You guys got to see. Oh, my. I told you. I told people to be careful. I said, be careful. Be careful. You're not going to believe what just happened. You're not going to believe it. 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 So I got to show it to you real quick because you're not going to believe it. All right, hold on. I want to show you something. Let me show you something. You're not going to believe it. All right. I think this is the chart. Let me see. Okay, I don't know if you can see this or not. So let me see if I can make it just a little bit bigger. All right, this right here, this is the low print when they reopened the market. The Dow ran to 23,850, and I'm sorry, it went to 23,549. Right now we're at 23,810. We were down 2,300 and some points. Now we're down 1,800 points. Now 1,900 points. See how fast this thing is moving? So anyone who put in a ticket thinking they're going to chase this and get short, you just got punched in the face. I told you. You got to know how to pimp these markets. It ain't time yet, baby. We're going to get there. All right, look. Here is your daily chart. Look at that nasty gap. Here's your 4-hour chart, nasty gap. 1-hour chart, nasty gap. So far, the market is putting in a pointer. If the market were to close right now, that's a pointer saying you haven't seen the downside yet. All right. So there is a thing that I have called Pandora's Little Black Box. Pandora's Little Black Box takes situations like this and from an intraday perspective calculates those intraday price inflection points. And right now I'm looking at a few things, so I will let you know. I'm going to post a few things to look at once the dust settles. Remember, the first hour of trading also is the most ridiculous because everyone's in there panicking and trying to figure out what's what. Bitcoin futures now down 1,415 points. Just ridiculousness. Look, gold is only up $1.30. Here we are moving at historic levels, and gold can only rally $1.30. What did I tell y'all? Remember, I told you. This is what they do. This is how they roll. That's how you know that this is contrived. It's not really real. If this was really, really real, people would be panicking. People would be buying. The gold futures would already be ceased trading for the day. And they would have raised the futures margins. But they're not doing that. GLD is already negative now. It's now down 27 cents. Gold just went negative. Silver's down almost 50 cents right now. So it's down 49 cents right now. This is the euro yen is now down 2,297 ticks. The euro yen is showing us that we have a lot more downside to go. I've been showing you that chart forever. So this is a historic day. I still don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the idiots are doing up there on Capitol Hill or in the Treasury or at the Federal Reserve. How could you allow your market to do this? Where is the plunge protection team? I'm going to tell you what they're doing. They planned this a while back when they put in the new circuit breakers and limit moves. They want to know just how effective is it and how far will things go. It's almost like a science experiment. Okay, that's what's going on here. So they're allowing this to happen on purpose. They want to go in and shake everybody. This right here is a shake in confidence. It's a shake in everything that you know of. This right here is showing you they're so hell-bent on their new world order that they are willing and ready now to let the old system totally implode on itself so they can say, look what we have now. We have something better for you. So that's what I think you see happening right now. Another thing, too, have you noticed? Remember what I said watch your inverse ETFs? I did tell you that. I said watch your inverse ETFs. I said if your inverse ETFs aren't moving right, aren't acting right, that's another sign to you. All right. So your DXD is only up $3, the inverse Dow. Your inverse NASDAQ 100 is only up $2.48. Your inverse SDS is only up $3.20. Really? We're having the most carnage-filled day in the world, and this is what you got for me? OIH last week was at $9. It's now at $5. That's what I'm talking about. Moves like that. We're not seeing that. We're seeing something totally different. Look how the market is rallying back. I warned you. Shorts, if you didn't take profit on that last circuit breaker joint, I don't know what's wrong with you. Look at this. Look at the charts. Just look at look at this. Now they turn on the plunge protection team. Now you want to bring them into the play. Now you want them to come in. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. You want to be short, do you? Can you say margin call? Say it with me, margin. When I say margin, you say call. Margin, call, margin, call. Look at this. Look at this. Super pointer. Look how they're rallying it back. This thing could turn green on the screen at any moment. Please be careful. If you are short, please consider moving that stop like super tight and get the heck out of the way. Take your money and run if you're short. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to give you some real facts right now. All right? These are facts. Technically speaking, right now, these futures markets are untradeable. I'm just keeping it real with you. They're untradeable right now. There's too much panic. There's too much carnage. Anything can happen. Ridiculous price swings. The Dow just kicked you in the face. You went down to 23,549. Now you're at 24,194. Really? Getting close to 1,000-point swing from the low to the current price in the Dow. Really? And you want to trade that? Sorry. That's not how we move. This right here is an untradeable market condition. All right. If you are in profit in any of these stock index futures, or even the crude oil futures, or you're short Bitcoin, or you've done something in gold, if you're in any of these futures markets, please use some common sense and do what the Vulcan done taught you how to do. So don't be greedy. Get out of the way, because something bad is about to happen. All right, this is the calm before the storm. This is not the storm. It's the calm before the storm. They put in these really steep circuit breakers on purpose. They never existed before. Do you know what the original circuit breakers were? Anybody in the Dow? Would you like to know? Anyone know? Anyone remember? I'll tell you, it was 300 points. 300 points up or 300 points down. Circuit breakers were turned on automatically. Dude, we were down more than 2,200 points this morning, and they let it fall. All right. Everything that everybody ever thought is wrong. There's no global reset of currencies or any of that stuff. There's no Amero coming. It's none of that. It's none of that. Everyone has been wrong who's been talking about that. Bank holiday, this, that. Nope. No, it's not. Just because they let market carnage happen doesn't mean that the country's going into receivership, okay? They do this for a reason, to panic you, all right? The whole purpose of pumping up the coronavirus has been for this. I haven't seen the word coronavirus on the screen anywhere on my Bloomberg since I've been sitting here. I've heard nothing about the coronavirus. It's all been about economics and markets. Interest rate this, government that, central banks this, recession that, retail sales this, auto industry getting hurt, Twitter this, Twitter that. That's all I'm hearing. All right, you don't believe me? You don't believe me. Some of you are probably at work and you don't have access to a television. So let me just show you a little something, because you probably don't believe me. Let me just show you. Where is it? All right, here we go. All right. Do you see the word coronavirus on this screen anywhere? Let me make it bigger for you. Do you see the word coronavirus anywhere on the screen? I don't. I don't see it. Now, last week, all day long, the word coronavirus was all up over here. It would have been all up over here. It would have been all over here, all up in here, and all down here. It stayed on this right here. Stayed on the screen all day last week. COVID-19. I don't see COVID jack this morning. Do you? It's no COVID. There is no COVID. I thought COVID was the talk of the world. What happened to your COVID? You know, this is crazy, man. So I want you guys to think about something. I want you to have calmer heads. I want you guys to think about what I've been saying to you. All right. I don't want anyone panicking. I know they've been reporting that Costco is out of toilet paper and you can't find hand sanitizer nowhere and you can't do this, you can't do that. Okay, whatever. Whatever. The sun is still going to come up tomorrow. Your mortgage bill is still going to come in the mail. You're still going to need to eat 3 meals a day. You're still going to need to put gas in your car. All these things about life you're still going to have to deal with. It's not going away. All right? They're going to show you the power that they have. They're flexing their muscles today. That's what you see happening. Now, I read to you some of the stuff about like the trade war that was happening with the oil, because not everyone said they were going to play by the rules. They want to do their own thing. So that's what you're seeing. All right. So now, let's see here. Oh, pardon me for a second. I'm going to show you guys something else real quick while we're doing this. I think you need to see it. So just bear with me a second. All right. Just some stuff that I was looking at. So we know we got untradeable markets right now. Okay. And I think this PSYOP with the coronavirus has been absolutely staggering. I think they have been very successful in scaring people to death. And now, here is the outcome of it. So, I don't know what to tell folks except please don't panic. All right? Do not panic. All right? Do not panic. All right? Do not panic. Whatever you do not panic. The world is not coming to an end. All right? This is not the rapture. The sky has not opened up. Christians have not disappeared off the face of the earth. No trumpet has sounded. All right? It's just not happening right now. So do not panic. This is going to be an amazing buying opportunity once the dust settles. All right? Once the dust settles, then that's how you will know. Okay? It has not settled yet. We have not gone positive yet. So do not do it yet. I will let you know when it's time to do that. I will be monitoring. I'll be here all day. I'll probably end up being live all day. Who knows? This could be, an epic historical thing. All right, let me just take this little break. I just want to read to you some stories that's going on, just traveling around, and what's going on, okay? All right, so we got a few things going on. So let me just pull up one of them. All right. Now, this one here is talking about untradeable markets. All right. And let's see here. No, hold on. No, that's eggheady. I just don't even know where I want to go, man. Oh, I love you too, man. I love you guys too. I love you guys too. Oh, smash that like button, man. Come on, y'all gotta hit that like button. Hook me up. Hook a brother up. All right. I'm gonna read some of this to you. You ready? All right. All across the United States, people are getting really stressed out about COVID-19. Every effort to contain the virus has failed. Cases have started to pop up all over America, and the latest numbers show that it is 34 times more deadly than the flu. I'll give you that. And what makes this particular coronavirus even more frightening is the fact that it is so easy to catch. You can become infected simply by breathing in the air around you. It can live on solid surfaces for days, and some victims can carry it around for weeks before ever showing any symptoms. As this virus continues to spread, literally no public place will be safe. And that is really freaking a lot of people out. Let me pause for a second. All right, so have you guys noticed that you haven't heard of any children catching coronavirus? If you have, please note that here in the comments, because from where I'm sitting at, I ain't heard or seen one child sick with the coronavirus. Not one. It's all been adults. I haven't heard children. I haven't even heard of a school having an infection where they had to close the school because so many kids came down with the coronavirus. It's not affecting children. Has anyone noticed that? It is not affecting children. Now, the last time I checked, every human being, regardless of their age or nationality, has come down with the flu at some point in their life, multiple times in their life. You probably had the flu, if you're like me, so many times you've lost count. How is it that no children are being affected by the coronavirus? What in the world is going on? And I haven't heard of any children dying from the coronavirus. Okay, someone just said, okay, a 9-month-old baby had it. All right, thanks for that, for letting me know that. And then, like you just said no children have died. Yeah, I haven't heard any children dying of it. Not one. Not one child, folks. Not one. Now, I will say this: the news did come out over the weekend that we now have coronavirus in Virginia, D.C., and Maryland. So the tri-state has the coronavirus now. Oh, someone just posted another one. Thanks for the info. There was a father and daughter who went to a daddy-daughter dance at a school when they were quarantined. All right. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Not sure how old the daughter is. Okay. Thanks for that info. All right. So far, only 12 Americans have died from the virus, according to the news. If thousands start dying in this country, what is our national mood going to be like at that point? Already, the level of stress that we are witnessing is very alarming. The following comes from an NPR article about the national anxiety that we are currently experiencing. And as the coronavirus spreads, our unanswered questions can make us feel vulnerable or fearful. Will it come to my community, or am I at risk? We've got national anxiety at the moment, a kind of shared stress, and we are all in a state of extreme uncertainty, says Catherine Beline, an associate professor at Northwestern University, Feinberg School of Medicine, who studies the role of fear and anxiety in healthcare. Of course, there are very good reasons to be concerned about the virus. More than 3,000 people have already died around the world, and the horrors that we have seen elsewhere on the globe are starting to happen here. And with each staring headline, the level of anxiety is going to go higher. All of a sudden, large numbers of Americans are extremely afraid to touch each other or anything around them. The following comes from a Washington Post article entitled, "Coronavirus Anxiety is Everywhere and There is No Cure." America this week began to consider the existential threat of a doorknob, the horror of a touchscreen in the self-checkout lane, the inescapable doom that accompanies any trip of public transportation. The realization of how much exactly we all touch our faces each day, constantly. Last week, you pressed elevator buttons with abandon. You weren't afraid of the free weights in the gym. You washed your hands for barely enough time to say happy birthday once, let alone sing it twice. This outbreak has already radically altered the behavior of millions of Americans, and we are probably still only in the very early chapters. Fear of this virus is also causing many of us to stockpile supplies like crazy. Just check out the following numbers from Nielsen. Fears about a worsening coronavirus outbreak have led shoppers in the U.S. and other hard-hit countries to begin stocking up on supplies to fill pandemic pantries. A new report from Nielsen suggests sales of sought-after hand sanitizer have risen 73% in dollar value in the 4 weeks ending February 22nd, compared with the same period in 2019, Nielsen says. Similarly, medical mask sales spiked 319%. Aerosol disinfectants rose 47%, and thermometers increased 32%. If this outbreak continues to intensify, it is inevitable that shortages will begin to emerge. So if there is something that you need to purchase, you should go and get it as soon as you can. Each day brings more shocking revelations. On Wednesday, we found out that the number of confirmed cases in New York has risen to 11. And blah, 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 blah. Fear porn, triple X rated fear porn, quadruple X rated fear porn, and more porn. I'm just saying, folks, you cannot panic. I don't care if this was the Black Death, which it is not. You still cannot panic. All right? Calmer heads must prevail. You cannot panic. All right? This is a psyop. I don't care how you want to stretch it. It's a psyop. Think about it. 3,000 people have died worldwide from a virus that has been out since November of 2019. And this is all we got? Is 3,000 deaths worldwide? Now, they said we got 3,000 deaths in New York, or 3,000 deaths in Pennsylvania, or 3,000 people have died in Virginia, or 3,000 people have died in Kentucky or California. Then I'd be like, okay, now we need to start panicking. Yeah, I think you probably need to stay indoors at that point. But it's not happening. When you hear that an entire elementary school has passed away due to the coronavirus, then we do have a real problem on our hands. But this is still not a pandemic. I don't care what anyone says. This is not a pandemic. Pandemics are horrendous things in history. The Black Death came and went. No one knows where it came from, and no one knows why it left. One day it was just over. It came in, killed tens of millions of people, and then left. Just like that. There was no cure. There was no vaccine. It just stopped. It just went away. And yes, it is, as far as our records go, the worst pandemic ever recorded. And you know that it's a pandemic because, like I said, it's a pandemic when your coworkers start dying. It's a pandemic when your neighbors start dying. It's a pandemic when your friends and relatives start dying. It's a pandemic when your children and your spouse dies. It's a pandemic when after all of that, then you die. That's a pandemic. Where there's weeping and wailing heard all over the world. You can hear people crying as far as from Japan to New York. You can hear people crying over their children and their loved ones. That's what I'm talking about. That's a pandemic. When the global elite themselves are dying. When you heard the president of this country or that country died, this king or that queen then died. The head of this department then died. This CEO of this company then died. When you start hearing of all the celebrities dying, that's a pandemic. When you hear the richest people in the world have died from the pandemic, that's a pandemic. Where an entire hospital is gone. All the staff done died, and everybody in there done died. That's a pandemic. I have not heard of one elementary school dying and closing because of there's no children, there's no teachers, they're all dead. I haven't heard that. I haven't heard a hospital is closed because everyone in there died. So this is the biggest psyop since 9/11. I remember, man, what I felt physically and emotionally on 9/11. That had to be one of the most stressful, if not the most stressful time that I've ever felt socially. You know, as one big social group, as a group socially. I can't tell you how heavy the hearts were. I couldn't go nowhere where someone didn't lose a loved one in one of those buildings. Okay? I had family, man, that died on that day. Yes, I had relatives that were in that building. All right? And co-workers, people I knew. All right? There were some trading desk situations over in that building, man. All right? We lost entire firms, Wall Street firms, gone. You probably never heard of because they're gone. They went away on that day. I can't tell you the sadness that happened that day. How incredible that was. And I had a pregnant wife. Do you know the stress? I remember going to the doctors and the waiting rooms were packed. I remember when they closed the markets and everybody was crying. Now, the news was all over the place when that happened. You know, people were just panicking. But I remember our back office personnel was sobbing. And next thing I know, their family came bursting through the door because, you know, they had lost a family member and they knew it, that person was in there because they had just talked to him like moments before or whatever, before the building collapsed. So yeah, that was real. That was real. Okay, that was real. This ain't that though. I still don't know anybody who has lost a loved one to the pandemic. I don't know. Not one. I don't know any. 3,000 deaths worldwide. And there are approximately 6 to 7 billion people on the earth. So out of 6 to 7 billion people, 3,000 people have died and we're supposed to be panicking? Really? Really? We're going to go there. We're going there? We're going to go there? Really? 7 billion people on the planet and 3,000 have died and we panic now? We can't even find toilet paper and sanitizer? Because 3,000 people have died? Do you know how many people die every year because of just a regular flu? Give me a break. This is not a pandemic. All right? This is a psyop. I didn't say that the COVID was fake. All right? I didn't say that. I didn't say that people were not dying. I just quoted you the official statistic that they're putting out. They're saying 3,000 people worldwide have died. I'm quoting from them. I'm quoting from them. Folks, this is an opportunity of a lifetime. This is going to be the opportunity of a lifetime if you are bold and brave enough to embrace it. If you are bold and brave enough to embrace it, okay? It's the opportunity of a lifetime. Nobody's stock is going to go to zero, all right? You don't have to worry about that. Now, that being said, I don't know what their plans are with some of the oil stocks. Some of them may go to zero because they opened up down 40% today, and who knows where they are now. So some of them may go out of business. Some of these oil producers, they could go out of business, just like gold miners have gone out of business. Yeah, these guys can go out of business. That is very possible. I can't even sit here in front with you. But all I'm saying is we need to look at the bigger picture, and we need to be wise, and we need to be smart. All right. Now, those of you who've been following me for a long time, you know I keep it 100 with you. All right. I keep it 100 with you. Do not be moved by this. I don't care what they say. It's not a pandemic. Remember what I told you when this thing first came out? I said, if it gets worse, and it does turn into a pandemic, that it is something that is created in a lab. This is a man-made crisis. Remember I told you that. All right. So this is their own undoing. This is what happens when human beings become so corrupt. Why would you even want to make something like this to use on your fellow human beings? Really? So that's what we are. So that's what we are now. So we're all monsters. So we sat around, we raised tens of millions of dollars so that we could build these labs, these level 4 labs, and build bioweapons to kill fellow human beings with. We create something so nasty and disgusting. Then you let it get out, or should I say you brought it out, and everyone's supposed to be fearful and panic. To me, this is so disgusting. When November comes, guys, every incumbent should be kicked out on their ear. Send a message, folks. Seriously. When you go to vote, vote every incumbent out of office. Every incumbent out of office, especially those that have been in office for 20 plus years. And look at their districts. The districts are in shambles. How can they still be in office? Don't be sheeple. The powers that be are saying those are sheeple. They will do whatever we tell them to. They will believe whatever we tell them. They won't research anything. They won't do the knowledge to anything. They won't. They won't. They don't care because they figure, well, if it's not affecting me in my house, I don't really care. You know what that is? That's so stupid. At the end of the day, that's really stupid. All right. Don't walk around here like you're quote unquote woke. Oh, I'm woke. I'm woke. No, you're not. You're like that dude in the hood perpetrating. You're like that dude in the hood walking around with a black hoodie on, black jeans, and some gold Timberlands, or they may even be black and gold. And he walking around perpetrating like he knowledge 120 truth, walking around like he like he got knowledge of self. But then when he comes upon a cipher and he gets exposed because he don't know today's mathematics. So those of you that are from the hood, you know what comes next. And that's divine justice, universal justice. He gets a beat down because he has been caught and exposed perpetrating. He has no knowledge of self. He no knowledge 120. He no knowledge 360. He is not quote unquote woke. He's been perpetrating. He doesn't even know today's mathematics, divine justice, universal beatdown. In the discussion. Don't be that person. Don't pretend that you have some knowledge and understanding, but then your actions prove otherwise. Please don't do that. Do not become a sheeple. Do not walk around here all panicked. All right? Please don't do that. All right? And those of you that know what I'm talking about, that do the knowledge to things, that research stuff, all right? go ahead and share with people who will listen. If they don't listen, so what? That's on them. All right. But if I've taught you nothing, is that I know these markets. Now, I'm gonna show you something because some of you probably didn't watch Friday's pre-market PulseScan, so you need to come back and you need to peep that when you're done with this one, because I give you the numbers and I told you what you could expect, and I gave you price points and I told you that today was going to be what it is, and I told you that Friday was the most important close in market history, and this is what's to be expected. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't expect this kind of movement in the price action in one day. I expected it to be like the numbers we're seeing now by the end of the week, not all in one setting like this. This right here is just fear and panic, and because of it, it's made things untradeable. There's nothing you can do right now because things are moving so fast. This is what you call a fast market. So let me explain to you what a fast market is. A fast market is when price action is moving so fast that technically and legally they don't have to honor any of your orders. Even a market order is not guaranteed to be filled. Under normal circumstances, a market order has to be filled. But under a fast market situation like we are seeing today, right now, they don't have to honor anything. As a matter of fact, if you do try to trade with the market order, you're a bigger fool than the biggest fool ever, because you're going to get the worst fill ever. If you're trying to buy something, they're going to make you buy at the high of the bar and guarantee you the price will be down here in the floor. If you're trying to short something, they're going to say you shorted it at the low of that particular bar, that session, and now the market is ricocheted on you and you're in the red. Now you're on margin call. Don't even try to go in there and do anything right now. You gotta let the market settle down a little bit and then regroup. The trading range of the day has already been established, so there's nothing you can do. There are days like this, and you can't feel like, oh man, I missed something. You didn't miss anything. The market is not going anywhere. It's going to be here tomorrow. All right. So I just want to let you guys know. I just want to encourage everybody under the sound of my voice. What we have witnessed today is, in my opinion, severe arm twisting. They want the Fed to do something. They want the central banks to do something. And this is a way to force them to do it. One thing I didn't get a chance to show you because of all the activities going on here, I'm going to show you right now. Because this is a great learning experience. Okay. Look at the Dow futures right here. Does it make it easier for you guys to see? Okay. So the Dow futures, if you notice, we got bearish 2-bar Charlie setups all over the place. The Dow is a bearish 2-bar Charlie setup. We got the S&P was a 2-bar Charlie setup. All bearish 2-bar Charlies. Let's see what else we got. We got one in crude oil. We got one in bonds, is a bullish 2-bar Charlie setup. Pretty much just about every market is a bullish or bearish 2-bar Charlie setup, which means that we're going to close down for the day on the bearish 2-bar Charlies, and we'll close up on the day on the bullish 2-bar Charlies. So they're all over the place. The market abounds in them. I'm going to have to get that. Hold on one second. All types of alarms going off over here. All right, so let's see here. What else we got? Oh, okay. So yeah, we got just negative 2-bar Charlies all over the place. The only way that these markets will end up closing green, closing up on the day, is if we get some type of liquidity push, breaking news, this or that happening. Then yeah, you'll see a change. All right, you will definitely see a change if the president comes out and says, "Oh, we're doing this, we're doing that," or It just, whatever. Now, another thing too, they always like to talk soft when it comes to the economy, but talk big when it comes to like the coronavirus. So, like for instance, you hear them saying, throw the word around recession, recession fears, recession, recession, recession. It's not a recession; it's a depression. All right, there's a big difference. Okay, so I need you guys to understand something. It's a depression. It's not. It's not a recession because we have entire industries going away right before our eyes. All right, literally going away. There have been so many store closings and mall closings. It's not even funny. The local mall where I am, is in jeopardy of closing. They've had so many stores to vacate and jump ship, and there are a lot of different reasons for this. One of the reasons for it is that malls historically have charged enormous rent. Now, back in the day, it was a good thing. Okay, all right, let me give you some more background. Okay, so malls had their heyday, but malls' heyday ended in 1989. Let me repeat that. The malls had their heyday that ended in 1989. Since then, malls have been in trouble. Okay? Malls have been in trouble. Retail has been in trouble. There have been a lot of retail shops that go bye-bye because people don't spend and shop the way they used to. And what happens is when you have entire industries imploding and going away and you don't have anything to replace them with, that's jobs that are gone, man. I can't tell you how many jobs went away back during the 2008 financial crisis. I think the estimate was like 2 million jobs. I don't mean 2 million people lost their jobs. I mean literal 2 million jobs. And really, it's more than that because we had entire industries implode. There were certain types of jobs and certain types of industries that are gone to history. If I mentioned some of them to you, you'd be like, "What is he? What is that? What are you talking about? What is that?" Some of you younger people wouldn't have any idea what I'm talking about. But there's industries that are gone today that will never come back. Jobs that will never come back because they have changed. We've changed to a new dynamic, a new paradigm, if you will. So that's what we're experiencing right now. We are experiencing history where entire industries are going out the window and they're never coming back. They are never coming back. I repeat, they are never coming back. So what happens when you take jobs away and you can't replace them? Now let me define what I mean when I say jobs. I mean those gainfully employed jobs. I mean those blue collar jobs where you could work that job, you had benefits, you could afford to buy a home and take care of your family, you could live. The day of the living wage has gone. It's gone. And for those that are still left with a living wage, you should thank God for that. But I have to tell you, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to last. I think it's about to go bye-bye. And so you're going to have to find other means of income so that you won't starve or have to, be reduced to selling your body for money or robbing people and stealing so that you can eat. Now, you may think I'm being funny when I say that, but I'm not really being funny. I'm telling you what it is, folks. I've been saying it for the longest time, man. You have to create new income streams for yourself. The only way I see that happening, the easiest way, I should say, not the only way, but the best way, the easiest way, is being able to participate in these markets, man. Now, on a day like today, there's nothing you can do about it. There's just nothing you can do. This happened, and it happened, and there's nothing you can do about it. But leading up to this point, oh, there was a lot you could have done about it. There is no reason Wow, if you're under the sound of my voice, you could not have made money last week. How could you have not made money in any one of these markets last week? The money was basically just being given to you. The trades were given to you. Okay, right now we are technically limit down on beans right now. We're down 21.5 points on soybeans. Back when I started out, that was considered like a limit. A 20-cent move was like a limit. So that's crazy, man. Wow. The things that we are witnessing today. So where was I? Yeah, so last week, man, was the easiest time to do that. You could have really done what you need to do. Okay, question. Someone has a question. All right, if we're going into a depression, can you explain what assets we need to focus on? All right, so it's going to depend on the type that we have. Remember, we're in a new world now where words have been redefined. They're not what they seem to be. They're not what they used to be. And they have different meanings, and so many different rules and laws have been signed into law since Obama left office. You know, when he was in office, he did a lot of stuff, guys. He did a lot. He was busy. His pen was busy. His pen game was vicious. And he did a lot of things. So we have to determine now, you know, that we don't really know the full range and scope of all of that until like now. I think right now we're witnessing for the first time the real true range and scope of all of this. All right, so traditionally in hard times, you want to be in precious metals. Okay, in hard times, you want to be in gold. You got to have some gold and silver. You just got to, especially gold. You got to have gold. Man. At the end of the day, you got to have some gold. Okay, because gold is supposed to be your hedge against inflation. But if there is no inflation, and really you just have dollar destruction, it's not a whole lot really you can do per se. I don't believe in long-term investing. I never have. I don't even believe in the whole premise of value investing. I kick against the pricks, man. I go against the grain. I always have. A lot of people laughed at me for that when I first started my career. And because I thought differently. I thought outside the box. They were just, you know, replications of what they were being told in class. And they would just spit that as knowledge. And I said, you know, I disagree with that. And so then I set out to prove my theses, and this is what I've come to what you know today is the pulse waves. So I get what you're saying. At the end of the day, man, I don't care what the situation is. You're gonna want to have as much money as possible. If we're going into a depression, you want to have as much money as possible. Because during the first Great Depression, the wealthy ate steak every night. There's been testimonials and books written when certain people they confess they didn't miss a steak dinner. There wasn't a night that they missed a steak dinner during the Depression. All right, so how are they able to do that? Okay, how are they able to do that? They were able to do that because they stacked their paper. In the street, we call that stacking paper. Stacking paper. Let me break that down for you. When you stack paper, the term stacking paper, it makes people, it makes them think of rap videos where you got a guy doing the cell phone meme where he has a stack of dollar bills or whatever, and he's using it like a cell phone and talking on it. That's not what I mean by stacking paper. See, the rappers are selling you a lie. They show you they're making all this millions of dollars, making all this money. I got yachts. I got all types of foreign cars. I got model girlfriend. My girlfriend's a supermodel. As a matter of fact, I date a bunch of supermodels. I'm the second coming of Hugh Hefner. In my mansion, I have my own Playboy bunnies. I got 20 bunnies right here in my bed with me at all times. Right? That's the image they show you. That's the lifestyle they show you. That is wrong, and it is misleading. That is not how you. That is not stacking paper. That is not stacking paper. Stacking paper simply means this. Stacking paper means you live well below your means. It means you save more money than you spend. It means when you get windfalls of cash, you stash it, you stack it. All right. For lack of a better word, you invest it. I don't like that word because of all the negative connotations and all the new twisted stuff in it. But you invest it. You put your money to work for you. I like that better. Stacking paper is living well below your means, especially when you get windfalls of cash, you invest it. You save and you invest. You save and you invest. Wash, rinse, repeat. Save and invest. Instead of buying the Bugatti, you buy the Chrysler Town and Country minivan. Instead of buying all the bling and jewelry, you put that money into buying perishable food and drinking water and gold bars and things of that nature. Instead of buying the big mansion, you buy a nice house, decent house, but it's not a mansion. Because you know that when the stuff hits the fan, the best position you can be in is to be the man with the most cash, the man with the most gold, the man with the most cash, the man with the most resources. See, the man that has a bug out, the man that has an underground bunker, the man that has multiple houses in multiple locations around the globe, the man that has learned to blend in with different societies so that he don't stand out, the man that got hookups and friends and family everywhere, that's the man that's going to survive and make it when the stuff hits the fan. Not the dude who was living a wild and reckless life, spending all the money he made on women and partying and drugs and drinking and just living reckless. Talking about some YOLO, you only live once, being reckless. That dude is going to perish along with everyone else because he didn't prepare. He wasn't prepared for the dark times. See, they got it twisted. They think because they grew up poor that those were the dark times. And now that they're rich and got money, that they're always going to have money. Money doesn't flow like that. Sometimes you have a credit crunch. Sometimes you have a liquidity crunch or liquidity crisis. Money ebbs and flows. It doesn't always come in that way. Why do you think that the largest Fortune 500 companies out there have lines of credit? Those lines of credit exist so they can meet their payroll. All right. Sometimes there are gaps in the flow of money for whatever reason, and you have to be able to exist and make it. That's why they created things called bridge loans. A bridge loan is a bridge to get you from point A to point B. Right now, you're in point A. You got money that's coming to you, but it's over there in point B. You need a bridge to get from that point to that point. You need to make it and survive until that flow of money comes in. That's what a bridge loan is for. You bridge loan yourself by saving your money, investing your money wisely, putting your money to work for you. All right. In my opinion, one of the best ways to put your money to work for you is trading the markets. Not on a day like today. Today is ridiculous. Today there's a liquidity crunch. There are no bids in the market. I'm not talking about a day like today. A day like today only benefits you. Let's say you had some short positions that you were long. You were long some short positions coming into today. Like when I said to you guys on Friday, I'm not mad at you if you wanted to buy some inverse ETFs just in case something jumps off on the weekend. Worst case scenario, you could just unload them today. Remember I said that to you? Now, for those of you who had the foresight to go in and you did that, well, right now it's not a bad time to take profit off the table now because today was a blessing to you. It was a gift. because you were prepared, because you listened to my broadcast and I gave you wisdom and I explained that to you. But anyone who was long like Apple stock or something like that going into today, I'll give you my virtual shoulder that you can lean on and cry on right now. Just let it out. Just let it all out. I know it's painful. I know Apple being down 1,745 points right now is painful. All right, that translates to $17.56 that Apple is down right now. I know that's hurting you. If you bought and went long on Friday, I know it's painful. I know it hurts. All right, take a couple of these aspirin and I'll make it all better for you, okay? For those of you who went long Tesla on Friday thinking that you were going to get some technical bounce, and right now Tesla is down 6,578 points, which translates to $65.84. I know it's painful. I know it hurts. I know it hurts. But you shouldn't have done it. I told you not to do it. I told you the stove was hot, but you didn't believe me. You put your hand on it, and now it's burning. You know what else is funny today, folks? Clorox and Colgate are also down right now. So if you thought that you was going to get long that on Friday and it was going to explode today in case something jumped off, you were wrong. The market's down right now. American Airlines is also down. MTA is also down. Zynga is also down. APT also down. The only thing that's up right now is INO, up $2. But that's it. See how they took away all your safe havens? They knew that people were going to be running to these markets thinking that I'm clever. I know I'm going to be long gold. I'm going to be long some silver. I'm going to be long some Clorox and Colgate. I'm going to be long some Bitcoin. And what happened today? What happened? What happened was, see, let me explain. What happened was, no, I warned you. I told you about the crash alerts on Friday. Now, those that get the PulseWave price trigger report, they were notified Sunday afternoon before the markets opened that there were a mammoth amount of crash alerts on the table. Say it with me, a mammoth amount of crash alerts. They were everywhere. Everywhere. They were warned that this was going to happen. They were warned. I told them. I gave them the heads up. If you looked at the Bitcoin Futures Composite Index, crash alert. Primary crash alert. Do you know how far the market has moved from that crash alert? I'm just saying. You have to have an algorithm that tells you what the market is thinking. The charts are not enough. Looking at a chart is not enough. I repeat, looking at a chart is not enough because there are nefarious things going on behind the scenes that you're not privy to. You and I, we're not privy to. I can't tell you the why something's happening. I can only tell you that something is about to happen. It's going to happen. Based on the price action on this day at this time, this and that is about to happen. I don't always know the whys. All I know is the what. And the what for today is crash alert. Before I even updated, before the market closed on Friday, I told you this is what is going to happen if the markets don't close at this price, that price, that price, that price. I said Friday is the most historic close ever. And I told you what was coming as a result of that failure to close. What happens in sales? If you work in sales and you don't close, what happens? You don't eat. Remember Glenn Ross? Coffee is for closers. Always be closing. ABC, always be closing. All right. Now, did I also not tell you before, and my man Mike just put this in here, let's post that. They do not want you to have any outs. You will not be able to buy physical gold or silver soon if this keeps up. Absolutely. They don't want you escaping. I warned people of that. I was called a clown, a fool, an ignoramus. All right, I was blackballed from going on people's shows that I went on. Their audience was like, don't have that idiot back on there again. Because I warned them that this day was coming, that this would happen. When Bitcoin was at 20,000, I said, you probably want to go ahead and take profit. It's probably a good idea. Listen, he's an idiot. He doesn't know anything about crypto. When I warned people about gold and silver, what happened? I said, I remember the day when gold crashed $100. Please listen to me. I felt like EPMD. Please listen to my demo. Please listen to my demo. And nobody wanted to listen to my demo. But now where are they? Where are all the YouTube channels that were cryptozoologists? I had to throw that in there. Where are my cryptozoologists? Huh? Where's the cryptologist at? I'm the crypto master. Listen to me. Bitcoin is going to 1 million. It's going to 1 billion, zillion, fulfillion, and million. Where's all the Amelia Bedelia's cryptologists at? Where they at? I thought Bitcoin was going to 1 million. What happened? When it was at 20,000, you said it was going to 100,000 immediately. What's up? Holler at me. Holler at your boy. What's up? They can't. They have nothing to say. All right? They have nothing to say. Now, don't get me wrong. Eventually, I believe Bitcoin is going to go to absurd levels. And so is gold and silver. But listen to me. You need to know this. I don't want you ever to forget this. Because some of you are probably not going to ever listen to me again after today. Because you're disgusted with yourselves for not listening. But I'm going to tell you this. They got something for you with that gold and silver. Because when you try to stack, they'll say, oh, no, we're running out of supply. We're ran out. But you know what? I'll hook you up. Tell you what. Let me go ahead and jack the price up. Let me hit you with these markups real quick. So gold is selling right now on the exchange $1,500 an ounce. I got some gold for you for $1,700 an ounce. That's what they do to you. That's the equivalent of the paper market. You know what the paper market does? They say, okay, you can buy some gold futures right now. Not a problem. We got you. Come trade with us. But we just raised the margins. Instead of $100 to buy one gold futures contract, it's now $1,000. Oh, you know what? An hour ago was $1,000. My bad. We just jacked it up again. It's $5,000 per futures contract if you want to get long gold right now. Oh, I'm sorry. Breaking news. I know that was 45 minutes ago. My bad. It's $10,000 a contract if you want to trade this now. And then as soon as you go and you say, I got enough money in my account. I got 50,000. Not a problem. I'm gonna go long right now. And you start typing. And then you get that rejection. Order rejected. What's going on? Let me try this again. Order rejected. Why can't I get long gold? Because the futures margin is now $50,000. We just raised it again. For those of you who think what I am saying is funny and hilarious and never will happen, it did happen. It has happened. I remember one time they raised the price, was it 4 or 5 times in one day? They raised the margins 4 to 5 times one day in gold and silver. I kid you not. 4 times in a day? Are you kidding me? The trading floor closes at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's analogous to saying that every hour that the market was open, they raised the margins. They will pull out the stops. I'm just letting you know that. Oh, and then because we was making so much money and trading the gold and silver spot, we was killing it in the spot market. Right in the middle of the trading day, while we had trades on, the Paul Volcker rules now in effect. Glass-Steagall Go, Paul Volcker. Busted all of our trades, and we had to, I took a massive loss when they did that on my spot. Yep. In the middle of the trading day, they said, "No, we got to liquidate you. You're out." Yep. So what you do, the only thing you can do at that point, if you still want to operate in the paper market, you have to go in. If you can't do the futures or the micro futures, you have to go in and trade UGLD or GLD or SLV or USLV or AGQ. That's the 3X silver, AGQ. All right, that's what you got. That's the only thing you got. That's all you can do. There's nothing else you can do. Yep. I like this one. Funny how many experts in the major financial crowds have been saying it's an excellent time to buy the past few trading days. It is funny. But see, that's how, but you know what though? A lot of them are sincere. They're telling you what they know to be true because that's how Wall Street trained them. Wall Street trains their analysts that, hey, you bought Microsoft at $100 a share. Well, if you liked it at $100 a share, you're gonna love it now. It's trading at 50. Oh, you loved it at 50. It's trading at 10 now. You're gonna absolutely just lose your mind. It's trading at $10 a share. You might want to get some. That's what they do. They have you buy on the way down. They're using the martingale theory on you. They have you doubling down. Just because something's cheap doesn't mean it's a good price and a good time to buy. See, that's what they do with the investors. They know that a lot of people have been brainwashed into thinking long-term investing. Long-term doesn't invest anymore, folks. That's been dead for a minute now. Long-term investing was the way to go back during the Industrial Revolution, back during the industrial period. But that period died and went out the door in 1989. 1989 was it. That was it. The door was closing on the industrial period. The door was closing on all those blue-collar jobs and the middle class. The door was closing. All right? That was a sign of the times, 1989. All right? It's been dead since then. Okay? Buy and hold died a horrible death. All right? Because it doesn't matter what your time horizon is. 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. A, you may not be alive to even reap any rewards that may exist. And B, guess what? That bull market won't exist either. So by the time you're ready to retire and start withdrawing funds, you could very well be in a bear market. Exactly. Folks, I'm telling you, they have shut all the exit doors. Katie barred the door. They have shut the door on the church and they have lit it on fire with all the people in there, all the parishioners in there on their Sunday. While they're in there worshiping on their Sunday service, they barred the doors and lit the place on fire. And then they're sitting back and laughing as people are burning up and screaming and dying inside. It's a morbid scenario that I just gave you, but that's exactly what they're doing. Is it not? How is it not? How can it not be? That's exactly what they're doing. If on a day like today, the market is just imploding on itself and gold and silver are down and Bitcoin is down too, really? How can that not be? How can it not be? Where's your safe haven? You gonna go to bonds? Okay, fine, go to bonds. Speaking of bonds, look at the TLT. TLT is up $9 right now, while the TBT is down $1.79 and trading at $15. TLT trading at $175 a share, and the TBT is trading at $15 a share. Do you know what's going to happen with these bonds? See, a lot of people like to prognosticate. I really don't. I like to go based on what the market tells me, what I'm showing. I try not to prognosticate because none of us know the future. Only God knows the future, and He doesn't share that with human beings, except for when He plans and purposes to do so, for whatever the plan and purpose is at that time. But right now, we don't know the future. We're humans. We're fallible. We can guess. It's fun to guess sometimes, but you don't put money behind it like that. So, for instance, a lot of people were talking about the death of the dollar and the implosion of the bond market, right? Well, the bond market sure is imploding, isn't it? Bond futures up now 5 points after being up, 10, 12, 13 points today. Lock limit up. We went to 191.22 after opening at 180.17. That is what you call a bull market, bullish 2-bar Charlie. All day up day. All right? Just saying. All right. So here's another good question. What happens if they prevent you from withdrawing your funds from your accounts due to a liquidity crisis? Well, first of all, that is a very good question. That is an extremely good question. And there are a couple of different ways to answer that question. The first way to answer that question is that really hasn't happened before. Not really in that sense. But on the other hand, it kind of has happened a little bit in the past before. And it kind of could happen in the future. So it is a good question. There's a couple of ways and that will end up going. It is possible that they could limit you withdrawing money from your bank account. That is extremely possible and extremely likely if things ever got that bad. They probably would do that. See, that's one of the reasons why I always laugh when people say run on the banks. There's going to be a run on the bank. There can never be a run on the banks in America. They would never allow that. For any of you who doubt me and want to call me crazy, before you do that, if it's still up on YouTube, go ahead and Google the 2008 financial crisis and look at some of the videos, if they still exist, if YouTube hasn't taken them down, where people attempted a run on the banks. I want you to look at that and see what happened. And see, did you see the dude standing there with the M16? How they had the SWAT team there, and in some cases they were even thinking about bringing in, the military, the National Guard, and stuff like that. You're not running no American bank. This ain't 1810, all right, or 1912. You ain't running nothing. You ain't running the American banks. They don't have to close the bank. They'll keep it open and have armed people standing right there with machine guns, ready to cut you down. All right. And American people, you need to understand that. Do not think that they will not have dudes standing there in full gear with M16s. All right, they will. They will not allow you to do a run on the banks. They will close the bank first, or put an armed man there, or close the bank and still put an armed man there. Okay, you ain't touching their banks. And yes, before they even do that, they will say it's a limit on withdrawals. They can do that, and they will do that if they ever had to do that. Absolutely. Overseas, they let people do that, but not here. Not here. You're not doing that. Why do you think they militarized the police force in the United States of America? Every state in the Union has militarized police. Some of them came out and showed you just how militarized they are. Another thing for you to search here on YouTube, if it still exists, go ahead and pull up the G20 summit that they had up. Was it in Pittsburgh, I think it was, or somewhere up in Pennsylvania? Go ahead and Google that joint. All right, go ahead and Google that joint, where you'll see where they had those sound wave cannon vehicles, and they were all geared up, camouflaged up, looking like they was about to go invade Iraq. Take a look at that video, and then you'll see too where the black vehicles pulled up and started snatching people in the crowd. One dude they never heard and seen from again, and the people that snatched him up was dressed in full fatigues, like they was U.S. Army or Marines or whatever they were. Picked dude up, snatched him, and threw him in the car and drove away. Some of y'all remember that video. Yeah. Look at them G20 protest videos, and you tell me if our police force ain't militarized. Oh, they ready. They ready for something to jump off. They ready for it. They've been wanting Americans to act fool for a minute so they can flex their muscles and show you that the beast system has been in effect right underneath your nose for a long time and you just didn't know it. Oh yeah, man. Right? What do you think all this 5G and stuff is for? All this right here is political fighting that you're seeing right now. We are caught in the middle of political fighting. This market scenario today is all politics. Coronavirus, fear mongering is also politics. All right. Now, guess what, folks? I told you it was going to happen, and here it is. One of these days, you're going to stop doubting me. Here you go. I want to show you something real quick, if I may. What do you see on the screen? What does that say? Trump to hold meeting on coronavirus economic response today. Trump to hold meeting on coronavirus economic response today. Did I not call it? Did I not tell you that was going to happen? This is political war. The Democrats failed to remove Trump from office. This is the next best thing. If the economy is still imploding under his watch, by the time it's voting day, he's as good as out of there. Because then they can say, see, he didn't even know how to handle the economic crisis. See, he didn't know how to handle coronavirus crisis. I'm telling you guys, this is warfare, is what you're looking at. Warfare. Not to mention this whole oil thing. They're talking like the low oil is going to hurt us. That's not hurting us. That's them fighting. The cheaper. Do you know what? I'm a quote from one of my peoples here on YouTube. He always says this, and he's right. Cheap oil. When you see the oil fall like this, that's an economic stimulus to the American people. That means your energy bills are about to fall through the floor. Like I said, if you are not looking at $1.50 at the pump today, something is wrong. That means, and that will prove what I just said to you about my theory. If oil is not at $1.50 today, by the end of the day, this is nothing but political fighting. They brought the oil price down to hurt their constituents, to hurt their opponents, and not bless you, the American people. Every time oil falls in price, we get a blessing at the gas pump. Why would today be any different? As a matter of fact, today should be the biggest blessing at the gas pump. All right? Just saying, folks. Next question. Just logged in. What does it mean if bonds go negative? Is that bad? Yeah. Well, first of all, bonds and the rates are two different things. Rates move in an inverse relationship to bond prices. So if interest rates go negative, it's very bad, because then what's happening is the savers, people who save money, are being destroyed. You're being punished for doing that which is right. So savers, if you got money in the bank, you're saving money, you're being punished because now you're not getting a yield on your money. You're not gaining interest on your money. Anytime you lend money, you're supposed to get usury on it. You're supposed to get interest. Interest is usury. When you go to borrow money from your bank, they're going to charge you what? Interest. So why is it different when you deposit money in your bank that you get no interest? Negative interest rates is, hello, Mr. Bank. I would like to deposit money into my savings account, Mr. Bank. Fine. I'm glad you stopped by today, Harry. That would be $5, please. What do you mean $5? Yeah. Well, in case you didn't know, interest rates now are negative, so you have to pay us now to save money. What? Yeah, yeah. When you purchase a CD, or if you put money in a money market or whatever, anything you want to do with us now, you have to pay us to borrow your money. So we're gonna borrow your money, sir, but you're gonna pay us to borrow your money instead of us paying you interest when you loan us your money. No, now you're gonna loan us your money, and then you're gonna pay us the interest that we would have paid you for your money. That's negative interest rates in a nutshell. All right, next one. Will this affect the housing renting market? Yes and no, not necessarily. All right, if you own a home, today is the best day in the world to refinance. If you are in the market to buy a house and you already have, under contract, close today. Float that rate and close today. Today is that day. You're at zero interest rates. It's free money. You borrowing free money. There's no interest rate. You're at zero today. If you're refinancing a house, float that rate. I say float that rate. Straight up. Why would you lock in a rate? Float it. Bonds are going through the roof. Now I'm being tongue in cheek here. Obviously, you could take advantage of the yields today. You lock in today. That's not a bad thing, because tomorrow the bonds could be down. You know what I'm saying? So, in all seriousness, today is the best day in the world to lock in a rate on a refinance or on purchasing a house. The yields may never be this low again. Tomorrow, all this could reverse. All right, just saying. Okay. So I just want to encourage people in that regard. But yeah, negative interest rates is bad, because now you're paying someone to lend them money. It's like me coming to you begging you, please, please, please let me loan you some money. Please let me loan you some money. Here, I'll pay you $100 if you let me loan you some money. That's what that basically is. It's ridiculous. What else we got? All right, gas down $1.50. Wow. No yield forces you into stocks. Housing to get yield for income. Lord help pension funds. You thought it was bad now. Watch out for them. Absolutely. Absolutely. One more question. Is the bull stock market over for now? What can central banks do now? Thanks. All right. Let's think about that. Is the bull stock market over for now? Yeah. We have a short-term top in place. It is official. The stock market has turned bearish. If you look at today's price trigger report, you have the Dow futures, bear market. You have the S&P 500, bear market. You have NASDAQ 100, bear market. You have Russell futures, bear market. You have the Euro Yen, bear market. Yes, bear market. Bear, bear, bear. Smokey the bear. Smokey the bear everywhere. All right, someone just showed this. Yeah, but you know what though? It'll be more significant if we close there. Just hitting the print there is not too bad, but if we close there, it does mean something. All right. Let's talk about that briefly. Let me put that back. Let's talk about that briefly. What does it mean to have 666 in the stock market? Historically speaking, the 666. All right, from a historical perspective, the 666 in the stock market is very significant. The most famous 666 we have on record is the S&P 500 in March of 2009. Is it March or April? I think it's March or April, where the S&P closed at 666. That was the low. And from that point on, we have never looked back. So that was the most significant 666. So traditionally, 666 can mean the highs or the lows. If it closed on a high of 666, that usually means that that's it, and now you're going to reverse. So 666 is a common reversal or signal in the market when something's about to go a little bit interesting. All right. Okay, someone just posted the sign of man is 6. Yes, from a biblical perspective, from a Judeo-Christian perspective, yes, the number 6 is the number for man. All right, and imperfection. In other words, 6 is the number of imperfection. It's the number for man. 7 is perfection, the number of God. So yes, God is perfection. It's the number 7. The letter G is the 7th letter in the American alphabet. All right. G is in God. 7 is the perfect number. 7 is perfection. On the 7th day, God rested after he made the heavens and the earth. So 7 is the number of perfection. 6 is the number of imperfection. And that's where we get the 666, because it is the number of man. And then we talk about the Antichrist and all that stuff. That is for a time yet to come. It is not now. It is not here or now. Someone will say, well, how do you know that? You think you know everything. No, I don't know enough. But if he was here, according to scripture, if the man of sin has already been made known, well, first of all, a few things would have to happen to lead up to that. First of all, you would talk about the rapture of the church. So the church would not be here. He is made manifest and known after the church is raptured out of here. One of the reasons for that is because the rapture of the church is actually a cataclysmic thing. Yeah, it creates a cataclysm. It creates a world crisis. I mean, you think about it. Millions of people on the planet disappear at once in a split second. Do you know how incredible that is? Do you know the devastation of that? Think about it. Think about the cataclysm of that effect, just for a moment. I don't think many people have thought about it. So you got a Christian pilot piloting a plane, and he disappears, and all the Christians on the plane, leaving everyone else on the plane to plummet to their death. You know what I'm saying? Just this total carnage. Think about the Christian surgeon who's doing surgery, and he's the main surgeon, and then he just vanishes in front of everybody, and the patient's opened up, exposed on the table. I mean, there's a zillion scenarios you can fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. So yeah, that's a catastrophic moment. And he comes, the man of sin or man of perdition comes after that to set order. You know, he arrives out of total calamity. And that's what the scripture says. But we're not there, folks. This is not that. And there are other events that lead up to even to that point. We're not there. All right. This is not that. Okay. If it was, then you would know it. And you wouldn't need me on here to tell you. You would see a lot of stuff going on that's not going on right now. All right. Now, you could always, come back to facts. And like I said, there's a difference between facts and truth. And they're not always necessarily aligned. All right, let's see. Is this just an asset price correction, or will the ripple to Main Street? I don't want it to be like 2008 and 9, and now I'm worried about my job. Okay, well, look, let me help you with that. First of all, I'm not omniscient, so I'm not going to sit here and tell you, you will not lose your job. You could lose your job for a multiplicity of reasons that have nothing to do with the economy or the stock market. I have worked at several places that most of them are no longer in existence to today. And I mean that in all sincerity. I've worked at several companies that do not exist today. All right. So that has nothing to do with the economy. Some businesses are run poorly. All right. And have management issues and a whole plethora of things. So anyone can lose their job at any time due to no fault of your own. Don't be concerned. I wouldn't be worried about it. You can always be concerned, but I wouldn't be worried about that. Today is really just about price action, folks. It's a correction in the market. We have gone up so much, all right, so much for so long with no correction. Why should we be, shocked that we're having a correction all of a sudden? You know what I'm saying? Why? I'm not surprised by this move. You guys shouldn't be either if you've been watching my videos every day. I told you we had a crash alert. What is a crash? What is a rally alert and what is a crash alert with the PulseWave system? A rally alert is an alert that price action is set to move higher. A crash alert is an alert that price action is set to move lower. That's it. It doesn't tell you the extent of the move. How much higher are we going to go? How much lower are we going to go? Nobody knows that. All right. No one knows that. So that's what my alerts are. So my alerts have been telling you every day what's been happening, what's been going on. This is what's happening. This is where we're going right now. We're in a bear market now, officially. Will we stay in a bear market? Who's to know? Who's to say? All right. We don't know. All right. This could be just a minor dip, a minor pause, if you will. Markets don't stay bullish or stay bearish forever. They ebb and flow. There's a time of bull markets and a time of bear markets. That's why I like trading. See, the trader knows those differences. Right back at you, man. Love to you too, brother. Be at peace and be safe out there. All right, so this is just the way the markets ebb and flow. See, the long-term investor would look at today and say, that's nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here, folks. Who cares? Who cares? Right? My time horizon is 20 years from now. In 20 years, this market will be back. You don't know that, and I don't know that. You're assuming. Now, I know the markets are always going to be here. They're not going anywhere. They're here to stay. But you don't know if we will be in a bull market or a bear market by your time horizon. By your time horizon. You don't know what stage we're going to be in. And guess what? When you need to withdraw funds, you don't have time to be concerned about, well, we're in a bear market, we're in a bull market. No, you need that money. When it's come time to withdraw, you need to withdraw. You're going to withdraw. Doesn't matter. But see, trading helps you lock in those profits. See, if you were using the PulseWave price trigger system and you had some long-term portfolio and you had bought some stocks when they were a lot cheaper than they were, let's say as of last Thursday, Friday, you could have gotten out with the lion's share of those gains and you'd be on the sideline right now. All right, so I'm speaking to you long-only people. I'm speaking to you long-term investors right now. Do not be in the mindset of the 1950s, okay? Forget that. When you are in profit and the market turns, you need to get out. You should only be long in a bullish market, folks. When a market is bearish, you should be on the sidelines. I'm talking to you investors now. You long-term buy and hold. You value investors. You should only be long when the market is bullish. When that market turns, it's supposed to stop you out with your profit, and then you chill on the sidelines until it's time to buy again. Now, you longer term investors, you buy and hold people, you value investors, you have a longer holding period than the trader. You may hold something for a month, 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. You hold, you're a long-term trend follower. You're supposed to hold until the market turns. You're supposed to always be in that bull market. I don't care what the circumstances are. If it is a bull market, you are long. You're net long, always. Long-term investors, value investors, buy and hold people, never short the market. You're not shorters. You're not traders. You buy stocks that you believe have good fundamentals and strong board of directors and people running the company and good strong line of products and good capitalization and their debt to earnings and all that stuff, everything lines up. 10K report looking tight. Not carrying a lot of debt. Your econometric modeling looks spectacular. I'm talking to you guys. You need to get out when the market turns, because you don't know how long it's going to be down. B, you don't know if it's ever going to come back up again by your time horizon. Notice I said by your time horizon. Everyone's time horizon is different. Some people is 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever. You don't know what kind of market you're going to be in by that time. So it's better, it behooves you to always be long when the market is bullish. When it's bearish, you step aside. All right? Or you get long some inverse ETFs. When the market is officially bearish, you're long inverse ETFs, period. No discussion, no debate. It's a bear market, you're long inverse ETFs. Or you're on the side. If you don't like inverse ETFs, then you're on the sidelines. You're in cash. You're doing nothing. You are doing nothing. If you can't get long some bonds like the TLT, then you're on the sidelines. If you're not going to get long bonds, if you're not going to get long inverse ETFs, then you are on the sidelines in cash, waiting for the moment when the market has turned bullish. Whenever that is, whenever that day comes, you're ready, you're locked and loaded, you up in there. I'm just saying. That's how it has to be. But for you traders out there, you make money when the market's going down as well as when the market's going up. So in a bull market, you're also long. You're net long along with the long-term investor. When the market turns bearish, unlike the long-term investor, you're now shorting. You're looking for shorting opportunities. You're shorting futures. You're shorting forex. You're shorting whatever can be shorted. And you're long inverse ETFs. That's the difference, folks. So I give you all this information so that you can be fully aware and equipped to what's going on and not panic. Do not panic. It's the worst thing you can do. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this one. There's a lot more I can say and go into. If you have not already done so, you do need to smash that like button, hook a brother up. All right. Share the video with someone. You never know who it may help or encourage. And subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you can be notified when stuff is going on. But the best way is to go to PulseWaveTrading.com. You can sign up for a free account. We have some free giveaways there for you. And we also have special deals right now if you want to sign up and get the PulseWave price trigger reports delivered to you daily. You'll be able to have that. We cover all financial markets, equities, futures, forex, cryptos, you name it, we're in it. All right, and we give you those alerts so you know what's happening and what's coming before it happens. All right, so that's how we roll. All right, so with that being said, man, I love you guys. I'll see you guys back here for the end of day report, maybe even a special report. I need to go through some alerts that came my way. I know you guys heard those alarms go off. I got some alerts I need to check out, and I may come back and do another live feed. It just depends. So I will see y'all guys back, and the rest of you I will definitely see in the trading room. All right. So with that being said, remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing out and give nothing back. And yes, can you let us know how you determine when you're in a bull market and go long compared to a bear market and go short? Absolutely. I will hook you up. All right. That'll be on the next vid. All right. So with that being said, I'm out. Peace.